And today is December 28th, 2015. It is 6:19 in the p.m. I am currently on my way home from work. I've been there since 10 a.m. I am glad to be on my way home. My average day starts a little before 10, like 9:30-ish. I go into, wake up, get ready, go into work, get there by 10, work from 10 to, 6-ish, 7-ish, 8-ish, whatever the fuck time they want me to leave. And then here I am on my way out now. I want to talk today a little bit about the society of work ethic. Not necessarily work ethic, but along those lines. If you hear background noise, can't really help about much with it because there's a lot of traffic. I've tried to get as far away from it pretty much as I can for the time being, but it'll slowly die away. So, I was at my girlfriend's work the other day, waiting for her to get off, and she has a severe problem with individuals with little work ethic, and I have a few problems at my job because I am a coordinator, which is somewhat of a manager, with individuals with little to no work ethic. And I just want to bring up the difference between the ability to work and work ethic, or what I consider to be work ethic. Now, there's a difference between work ethics and work ethic, singular and plural. Work ethic, singular, is you have the ability to do your job correctly and thoroughly and completely, but you choose not to. Not because you don't have the materials to do your job, not because you don't have the time, but because you go about saying, if you do not have work ethic, you would go about saying, that is not my job. You would go about saying, I don't get paid enough, or I don't do this. Like the old adage of cleaning ladies saying, I don't do windows, or some shit like that. If you are paid to do a job and you choose not to complete the job, then you do not have adequate work ethic. Now, I'm sure there's another term for this, but that's just the term that comes to mind. Now, work ethics, plural, in my mind, pertains to how you go about presenting yourself when you are on the job. For example, you wouldn't work at a fast food restaurant in your pajamas because that's against the dress code. That's not really work ethics. It's more about attitude. It's more about, like, can you differentiate your personal life from your work life? Can you put on a face for the customers? So in my, and I'm sure, like I said, I'm sure there are terms, separate terms for these things, but that's just what comes to my mind. So, for example, if, in my work, I'm a coordinator of the back room. I have a problem with an employee, with one singular employee doing their job not thoroughly. They kind of half-ass it. So I have the option of singling out that person in a group because I don't have an office. I can't say, hey, can you come to my office? I need to talk to you. No, I only really have the option of pulling that person aside and letting everybody know, hey, I'm pulling that one person aside. And then everybody has the questions of, why did they pull you aside? Or what I choose to do is I tell one person quietly, hey, I'm going to get on to you about something and I'm not really talking to you, I'm talking to this other person, I'm going to get on to the group as a whole. And I don't want you to take offense to this because I think you do a fantastic job. But I need to put on a little bit of a show because I need to let the other person know they need to pick it up. So what I do is I gather several people and I get on to several people, more so focusing on the one, but that way no one feels like I am singling them out. That's what I choose to do. But back on individual work ethic, there have been several situations where people that I've come in contact with, multiple people that feel that they are above, they're not either not getting paid enough to do the complete job, which you're making a paycheck. I'm sorry. Either you can do the job or there's the door. I don't understand this. I'm not going to do this. No, either you do this or you leave because this is what you're getting paid to do. But I don't understand the people that have the mindset of, I am greater than this. Unless you are management and you have the ability to delegate tasks to the people below you, you are not above cleaning the bathrooms. You are not above making, that sauce for your fast food thing, or you are not above you folding clothes for hours on end. Like with me, I'm a coordinator. I have the ability to delegate tasks to other people. So I delegate my tasks to other people because I know they are faster than me at those tasks. Not because I don't have the ability to do it. If they are not there or they feel under the weather or whatever the case may be, I will do those tasks. I don't, when somebody says, I'm not going to do that, I don't get paid enough to do that. Wait a minute. How much money do you make that you don't make enough to do that? That's not a thing that you can say, because that is part of everyone's job description, to do the task. I don't understand. So, all of the people, one of the things that really gets to me is people that say, if I could stay at home, now, okay, I would too, given, okay, let me start again on that last little bit. Somebody that says, verbally, if I could stay at home and just make money to pay the bills and get food, I would just stay at home. Okay, I can understand that, because if you want to be able to do your own thing, say for example, you win the lottery, you win millions of dollars, and you feel that you have enough to quit your job and stay at home for X amount of months or years or whatever, if you appropriate that money correctly and you want to do that, all to you. More power to you. But that is separate in my mind from filing for food stamps, for example. If you file for food stamps and you file for government assistance, but you are an able-bodied individual and you have the ability, you have the physical capability to work, you are just fucking lazy. If you have to file for, now say for example, I am working Me, myself, Tim, I am an able-bodied, employed individual. But from time to time, I need financial assistance so that I can buy groceries. Because my paycheck by itself cannot cover all the bills. I split my rent and my costs of living with those that I live with, my girlfriend and her mom. So it's not a problem. But if I was living by myself and I only had the one job, I could not afford where I live right now, and I could not afford to eat how I eat. So I could understand, given the situation, if you work and collect food stamps, or if because of the amount of money that food stamps will only give you if you make less than a certain amount, if you don't work simply because you would rather be able to eat, because food stamps will only allow you to collect if you don't make X amount of money, I can understand that to a point. But for people to say, I am above doing this, when you are an able-bodied individual, no, that is not accurate. A doctor in a high-class hospital making salary, only working several surgeries per month, say they only work for 3 or 4 days a month, and they are making salary buku dollars, is not below cleaning the toilet. If that job needs to be done and you are collecting a paycheck for doing a job, you do it. That is how I was raised, and that is what I believe to be right. Now, if you cannot find a job and you are listening to this, I will help you find a job. That is not, if you go about saying, oh, well, I need to collect food stamps because I can't find a job. Well, let me tell you, you're not looking hard enough. You're not trying hard enough. You're not selling yourself. You need to sell yourself as if you were a product. You need to sit down with somebody and say, this is who I am. This is what I can do. I can walk, I can talk, I can read, I can write. I can lift X amount of pounds. I can stand for X amount of hours. I can, communicate fluidly to you in this audio format. I can communicate to everyone. If you don't have job experience and you really need job experience when you go into the workplace, because that's what employers are looking for, is what have you done and what can you do for me? Well, if you don't have job experience, that's fine. But you cannot say, oh, I'm above working at McDonald's. My parents are rich and they've given me everything I have up till now. So there's no reason why somebody in my family does not work at a fast food restaurant. Bullshit. Bullshit. If you need a job, you apply at fucking McDonald's. Okay? And you don't go around asking for $15 a goddamn hour. You ask for minimum wage because you have to start somewhere. In order to become a manager somewhere, you have to start at the low end of the totem pole and work your way up. And if you don't believe that to be true, if you believe that you will just walk into another business, like me, for example, I have management experience. I was a manager at a CVS for damn near 3 years. I was an assistant store manager for Spirit Halloween. Now, I could go into a business and say, hey, I see that you're hiring managers, managerial positions. I would like to apply for that. But you don't put all your nest eggs on that. You tell them, if for any reason you do not see me as a manager, I would love to apply for any position that you have for me. Because most places, hell, even Taco Bell. I had an interview and I actually got the job at one point for Taco Bell. I never actually worked there because I was offered a position somewhere else, and I took up the position somewhere else at the time. But I was offered a management position at a Taco Bell at one point. And the manager at the Taco Bell told me, okay, I'm going to hire you on as a regular standard crew member. And you will be bumped up to a manager later on, because no one in the restaurant is going to take you seriously if you don't know how to make a taco. And I understand that to be very, very true, because if you walk into a random new business that you have not worked in before, no one's going to take you seriously if they don't know your work ethic. If they don't know how you function, they're not going to take you seriously. So you do not go into a new business and you say, hey, I want to be your boss. No, that's not how that works. You start in low, and then if you have to suck up, then you suck up. If you have to scrub that toilet for a few months or even a few years, you do that. Because that's how you get promoted. That's how you get a raise. That's how life works in general. All these people that feel that they need to live, in poverty, because that's how they're collecting their Social Security. That's how they're collecting their food stamps. That's how they're collecting their welfare. They don't need to live in poverty. They choose to. Now, there's a lot of people that don't choose to. And for those people, I'm not talking to you. There's a lot of people that have had things happen in their life. You know, car accident, mental issue, physical issue. You know, you broke your leg, you broke your hand, you can't walk, you can't write, or you can't speak well, or whatever the case is. If those things have happened, there are still jobs that will hire you. But you have to look a little bit harder to find them. But for all of you able-bodied people that are able to walk and talk and see and hear, be thankful for what you have, for one. And for two, you need to pick it up. You know, because over the last few days, hell, over the last year, I have met so many people that either they say, I am above doing this. I am above flipping burgers. Or I'm above waiting tables. Or I'm above, scrubbing toilets. Are you making a paycheck? Do you work for X company? You do. Well, then no, you're not above that, because that is a job that needs to be done, whether it be for yourself or for the company as a whole, and you do it. Now, in my particular position at my particular job, I don't have the ability to send someone home, but I have the ability to recommend that somebody's hours get cut if they keep fucking up. And I have not had to take advantage of that as of yet, because I have an amazing staff. But when I go into my girlfriend's work, I wish sometimes that I was a manager, because I would lay down the fucking law. I would tell them, look, either you can do your job or you can get the fuck out. End of story. Because there's a lot of people that she works with. And there's a lot of people that work in general. Like I'll be walking through the mall, for example, and I'll see so many people at so many stores, so many employees that are sitting behind their counter on their cell phones when there's customers in the store. And it's like, look, I don't really care personally. If your job says, yeah, you can be on your phone whenever you want to. You know, when I go to the food court and I see that there's a line over here at the Chinese food restaurant, and there's a line over here at Chick-fil-A, and there's a line over here at this other restaurant, and you're over here in your, you know, potato wedge place or whatever it is, and you don't have a line because people don't want to buy your food, well, they also don't want to buy your food because you're just sitting behind the counter fucking off. If you made it look like you are proud to be here, even if you're not, that is the work ethics part. If you make it look like you love to be here, you love to be around the people, hey, come on over, let me talk to you for a minute. Let me tell you what I got here. Let me show you. This is awesome. Show somebody that you have a little respect for your position, for your job. Because if you don't have respect for what you do, you don't have respect for yourself. Even if you're just the guy that cleans the tables in the mall, you know, you're just the guy that empties the trash can at the mall. Have you been to the mall in Ocala? The people that empty the trash cans in the food court, sit in the food court. Honestly, go to the mall later today, tomorrow, whatever. Go to the mall, sit in the food court for 3 hours. I've done it. You know, how long do you sit and you eat? For 45 minutes or so? Get yourself something to eat. Sit in the back of the food court for 3 hours. I don't care if you just bring your phone and you play on your phone for a few minutes, but sit in the food court for 3 hours and watch people. Watch how they interact. Watch the people that come in to clean the tables, because they cycle every 15, 20 minutes. They do, because they keep that thing clean, because they know it needs to be done. They know that if I don't do it, it's not going to happen. And they might not stop and talk to you because they're not supposed to. They're supposed to keep up on their job. But that is the best learning tool that I can think of, is go to the mall, go to a place where there are hundreds of people, at least hundreds of people that cycle in and out throughout a time period. Go there and sit in the mall for 3 hours and just watch people. You will see the best and the worst of society. You will see the people that come in and just shit all over the tables and all over the floors and give no respect to the people that clean up that mess. You will also see the people that clean up after not only themselves, but up after other people. And then you will see the people that wait in line patiently until they get their food. And then they say thank you. Even though they are paying money to receive their food, you will see them say thank you. Why do they say thank you? Because they know that the people behind the table that made that food actually put effort into making it. They're not just selling out because they know they're getting a paycheck. They're saying, hey, John, your food's ready. Why don't you come over here? Hey, here you go. Have a nice day. Sometimes that's all it takes, is somebody saying, have a nice day. Sometimes that is all it takes, is somebody saying, hey, I respect your business. Hey, you know, I hope you have a happy new year. Something very simple, very small. It's all it takes to make somebody smile and want to come back. And if they come back, they enjoyed it. The Chinese food restaurant in the mall, I've got about 5 Chinese food places I could walk to. Panda Express is one of them, and I love the food at Panda Express, but the people there suck. I'm gonna be flat out with you. Some of the people there suck. And I have a Chick-fil-A in the mall and a Chick-fil-A I could walk to. The Chick-fil-A in the mall is a little bit better because the Chick-fil-A that I can walk to that is a standalone building, the people there suck. So why am I going to spend my money there? You know, there's a restaurant down the street here called PDQ. I don't even know what the fuck it stands for, honestly. I've only eaten there once. But I've only eaten there once. I tried it. I liked the food. I didn't like the people that were there at the time. Now, mind you, if you try any restaurant, if you try any business, if you go into a retail store, a dollar store, a Walmart, anything like that, and you choose to shop there because you've never shopped there before, whatever it is, and you have a bad experience, are you going to go again? No. If somebody basically, gives you the finger because you were the last customer of the day, well, then you're not going to want to go back. So when you go into an interview for a job and you sell yourself, you don't give the manager of the place the finger because you're like, fuck this place. No, you suck up to them when you're in an interview. You always do. Everybody does. But you have to figure out a way to present yourself that's not sucking up, but selling yourself. And I could probably go on for another hour and a half about people in general and how a singular person is good. Maybe a group of 3 or 4 is good. Anything more than 4, people suck. You know why? Because they have to agree to their social standards of their group, and they suck. Like me, for example. I'm going to use myself as an example of somebody who sucks. And I'm going to show you how. When I'm at work and I'm by myself in the stockroom, I get my job done. And I'm not just telling you this because I'm telling you this. I'm telling you this because even my management sees it. For example, tomorrow I had off and now I'm working tomorrow. There's been multiple times where they've said, hey, you're working tomorrow. Or hey, you're working a few more hours. When I'm out shopping by myself with my girlfriend, whatever it is, hey, I will help myself. I will help other people. If somebody needs a hand with something, I happen to be a tall person, I can get it for them. No problem. When I'm with my friends, one of my friends happens to ride in a handicap cart whenever there's one available because he can. And a few of you will know who this person is. But when I'm around that person or when I'm around a few other people, I'm somewhat of a dick. Not on purpose, but I'm adhering to the social norm as to my friends. And if I'm a dick and he's a dick and the other people that we're with are all dicks, then that creates a bad atmosphere for the associate that has to check us out. Sometimes we're fine. Sometimes we're assholes. It just depends on the mood, and we all somewhat seem to flow with it. And we don't do it on purpose. It's just what happens. If one of them has a bad day, we're not all going to be happy and cheerful. We're all going to be having a bad day because we want to make that person feel a little bit better. And that group of people having a bad day is going to affect other people. We don't do it on purpose again, but it's just what happens. So if you're, say, in the mall and you see a bunch of people being assholes, I'm not saying go up to them and tell them that they're being assholes. I'm saying go to the associate that they were being an asshole to and say, hey, I respect your job. Or, hey, you're doing it, I know you're just cleaning the tables, but this place looks spotless. It looks amazing. Give them a compliment. Make their day a little bit better, because not everybody that works is having the best of days, because they're all going to have customers that are dicks. Maybe it's not on purpose, or maybe they are dicks, just because they're dicks. But You know, try to be nice to people. But again, I could go on and on and on, and I have to get home. So this is me signing off for now, and I may add more or I may not. Have fun.